at Copart, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Lot nice and full, going through all of these cars like a kid in a candy store. I'd like to thank the staff for letting me come through and get footage. That is a privilege I appreciate. Let's get started with our search for something for the channel. All right, the first one we're going to take a look at is a Lexus. Big fan of Lexus, love Lexus. Fancy Toyota. This is the 250 IS, and obviously has some front end damage. This is a 2009 IS-250, lost type front end, and that is because of this corner over here. Took a hit right here, took the fender with it into the door. So you're looking at door, fender, hood looks okay. That could be straightened out. That wouldn't be a big deal. Headlight, bumper. You could take all the parts off and save those parts. Maybe even save the fog light. But definitely the door. Just a ding back here. No big deal. It's PDR work. And then something scraped against it back here. That's transfer. That will polish off. Otherwise, the paint is dull, but will come out. As you can see, that's oxidation. That'll easily polish out, and this thing will look incredible again. Transfer over here, little PDR work. The seals and the trim is failing. That's no big deal. That can be wrapped. That's just something that splashed up. Let's take a look at the inside. So we have a cream color, a light cream color interior, two-tone with brown. A little bit of wear and tear and dirt on the seats. No big deal. That can be repaired for the right price. Okay, so windshield is cracked. This is why you need to come and see these in person before they come up. In my area, Harrisburg's every Tuesday at 9 or 10 o'clock, the auction starts. And you want to get here and see these in person and pick some of the stuff you can't see in pictures to kind of figure out what you would need to put into it to get it roadworthy. And also consider there's going to be other costs like transportation to get it towed to your house. You cannot drive these off of the lot if you don't have your own transportation. And then the fees for the auction you need to keep in mind as well. But always get here and take a look at these in person. And that will help you to determine if the purchase is going to be something that makes sense or not. So a little rough in the interior. I don't see a big deal with that. Let's see if there's power. There's a little bit of power, but you could see the button lighting up. There's a little bit of power, not enough to get it started. I'm sure it runs. But because it didn't take a hit at the, in the area where the engine is. But I want to show you something outside again. Now, I can't get the hood open because it's jammed. I can't pop it up. But there's something I do see that would put this over the limit for me. The supports here that I can see going across look intact with just some of the smaller pieces ripped off. That's no big deal. This is what I'm looking at, though. It took a huge hit into the wheel, and this wheel is pointed out this way, and when you come over, this wheel is straight. So you're going to have some suspension damage on top of the bodywork. The bodywork wouldn't be a big deal to me. The suspension damage is, so I believe I'll walk away from this one today. All right, something a little different. Here's a Subaru WRX 2015, I believe. Yeah, limited blue. Lost type front end, obviously. We have the headlights missing out of there. I'm going to guess soft impact, probably a deer. That would be my guess. And then walking around the rest of it, you want to look in there And you want to kind of pay attention to all of these supports coming in and out on both sides. And if they're straight, you have pieces missing on the inside there. I can't open the hood because it's taped shut, but you can, that's why you got to come out here, get your camera in there. Let me know what's missing. I can't see until I peek my head underneath there. But you got to take that into consideration when we're coming around. They have other stuff marked, but these are just superficial from somebody getting in and out of the vehicle with a belt or some jewelry or something. That has nothing to do with the impact. Neither does any of this, so I'm guessing they took it to a body shop to get everything taken care of in one fell swoop. They had this bumper tagged as well. But yeah, you don't get the whole story from this. It looks like a deer. Now, unfortunately, I mean, this is a nice interior, but they just threw the parts in here. So this was getting torn down. You see the supports that they had off. This was going to be fixed, and then for some reason, something put it over budget, and they scrapped it. The interior looks good. Good shape. Let's see if we have power. Nothing that I've touched today had power. Everything is dead. Dead, dead, dead. And so is this. I'll tell you what though, if you have any type of mechanical background or auto body, something this clean and looks like it was loved and taken care of, I would look into it further. I'd have to crawl underneath and see if there's any suspension damage, but I don't know. What do you think, guys? Let me know down in the comments section. I personally would walk away from something like this and look into an Outback or a Forester instead. That's more my taste. Something better in the inclement weather. Just to show you fall, especially in the Northeast, a lot of these vehicles are going to have damage from deer because they're going crazy, fighting, trying to find a place where they don't get shot, running across the road, trying to get something to eat. And you can see the after effect of tagging a deer, and it can do quite a lot of damage. So watch out there. So here is a 35th anniversary Camaro. I would love to bring that paint back. I'm not the biggest fan of the Camaros or the Pontiacs this year. Just a mirror. Cosmetically not too bad. There's some damage over here. It was sitting for quite some time. Damage back here as well. That's no big deal. There's no way at all that this has power. You can see the 90s motif in the interior. But 35th anniversary. Got the books. Do have the key. I don't even know why I'm trying this. I know there's not going to be no power, so there's no way to see what miles are on it. Let's pop the hood and see what engine is in it. Besides being dirty, the interior is not in crazy bad shape. The handles and the armrest, seats, steering wheel, dash has a couple cracks up front there. But other than that, not too bad. So this one's going to have the 3.8 liter. They're absolute garbage if you ask me. Well, that's the reason there's no power, no battery, of course. This would need all the belts and hoses. But you get some company with it. Yeah, look how long that's been sitting. You got moss growing on the radiator support, and the front end here is Looking for signs of rodents in here that could have chewed the wiring. Something that sits that long, you have to take that into consideration, but I would love to have this just to restore the paint. I know that would come out. Pick it up, restore the paint, get a couple videos, send it on down the road. What do you think, guys? For me, it's the least liked body style of the Camaro, but that's just my opinion, my taste. Let me know down in the comment section. All right, good friends, how about this one? 1983 American Alliance, or better known as the Renault Alliance. Little box on wheels. I'd love to pick this up and see if I could bring that paint out. That is oxidized like crazy. Let's look at the rest of it though. Oh, manual. This would be a fun little toy. Even has a hitch. The old Renault Alliance. I'll tell you what, I don't see any rust holes through here. I'm not going to lay on. It just frequently rained. I'm not going to lay down and check, but that's one thing you would want to bring a mat along. And look at that. This thing is dirty as hell, but the dash isn't even cracked. Look how this thing held up. Well, this is coming down on my head, but only 60,000 miles, not even broken in yet. You can probably understand why I love coming here. It's the mix of the newer vehicles with just barely any miles, vehicles that come in crashed, flooded, antiques, classics, all types of vehicles that you see walking through here that come up to bid on. And it's a privilege to come here and see these in person, something that I haven't seen in such a long time. It brings back a lot of memories from the 80s. But yeah, this would be fun. Definitely something to look into. If it's not too far gone, I'm not against picking up a classic and restoring that on the channel. Let me know down in the comment section if you want me to pick up a classic or an antique and get it running, restore it, as far as we can go on the channel, and then move on. There is a clutch pedal and a brake pedal. Absolutely crazy. You get the books that come with it. Not a whole heck of a lot of room back there. You have about 5 inches of clearance for your knees if you're sitting back there. Let's pop the hood and see what's under the hood of this thing. So this would have a clamshell style, opens up backwards, and you have this little tiny lawnmower engine. I'm not even sure what the hell powers this thing. I'm gonna have to look this one up. So this would be a 1.4 liter inline 4, but plenty of power to pull this little thing around. So there's the Renault. I noticed this was up on the block for the last auction, and I don't believe it sold, so it probably didn't hit the buyback number. I'll keep an eye on it. Well, I'm all over the place today when it comes to cars. Really no theme, but this thing caught my eye. 640i, 2017 or 2018. Expected till next year. Yeah, 2000 side is going to be the lost type, but it's the front up here that has the damage. Am I missing it on the other side? Is the other side? No, it's just the front up there. Nothing on the side. Yeah, everything else looks good. Got the wing in the back there. Yeah, this side's good. Well, let's take a look at the inside. Ooh, look at that. And it smells good. Nice leather smell to it. You have the piping with the brown diamond stitched leather. Really nice. And I believe there's power to this one. Really nice. Something poked through that was sticking out of the pocket, but I could fix that. This is really, really nice. Nice interior in here. It's be a nice place to be for a long ride. Let's see, can we get this turned just a little over 100,000 miles, so you'll be able to get this for a decent price. Let's see if it starts up. Oh yeah. Wow. Service is overdue. We do have a check light on. Obviously, that's common with this thing. Everything's gonna work. You're gonna have all your books. Must have been sitting here for a little while because the AC's on, so let's turn that off. All right, let's pop the hood and see what's under there. Yeah, this would be nice. This one's definitely going on the watch list. Pull twice. Let's take a look. So this one's going to have 3.0 inline 6 turbocharged. Everything's intact in here. I don't see any. Here's a little bit of a crack from the impact point. That's no big deal to replace. Everything behind it is good to go. So definitely one. Just needs a hood, or maybe that could be repaired. Definitely one to put on the list and keep an eye on. All right, guys, we have a little bit of rain moving in. I'm going to try and get 3 to 4 cars in each video when I stop by at Copart here. I'm going to keep those all on the list, and I look forward to coming back and looking for some more cars for the channel. Catch you later.